One of the products that I've been reviewing a lot on the channel recently is soundbars, and I'm not mad about it. A soundbar can make a huge difference in your home audio. If you're someone who doesn't really care about sound and has just been using your TV speakers for a long time, you may not realize all of the different audio spectrum frequencies that you're missing day to day. And a good soundbar can take an average watching experience, even with TV, the news, Hulu and Netflix, and elevate it to something a lot more enjoyable. Today, we're taking a look at the Wohome S9930. This is a 38-inch soundbar. It's quite big, it's quite beefy, it has a lot of good output, and it looks great while doing it. In this video, I'm gonna unbox this. I'm gonna show you everything that comes inside the packaging, give you a quick demo and explanation of all of the features, and then let you know whether or not I think it's worth adding to your home audio system. Now, if you're new here, thank you so much for joining me. If you're a subscriber, welcome back. My name is Jordan, and this is the Phage Reviews YouTube channel. And we're gonna dive right into the review, but first, hopefully I can earn your subscription if I haven't yet by the end of this video. Ring the notification bell and leave a comment if there's a soundbar that you wanna see me review on this channel, or if you have experience with the Wohome S9930, tell me your thoughts on it. But enough about that, let's dive into taking a look at this 38-inch soundbar. So on this channel, I like to start with the packaging. It can tell us a little bit about the product features and then whether or not the company, puts time into their packaging. And this is pretty generic as far as it goes, kind of a plain cardboard box. The shipping label obscures the model name, but we've got just like a sketch of the product here. On the back, not really any specs. On the sides, got the website. There's not really much on the packaging, so we won't waste too much time with it. Now, this box is huge, as you can tell. Like I said, this is a 38-inch long soundbar. It's one of the longest that I have seen come across my desk. I know that bigger ones exist, but normally 32 to 36 is pretty standard, and this one is a bit bigger. So this is how it comes packaged to you, nicely encased in foam, well protected. On the top, we've got a little baggie here with the manual, as well as a couple accessories. The manual is pretty good. It has plenty of pages explaining all the features with diagrams. Some of these manuals are just like a one-page instruction sheet, but this actually has some, some length to it. They include the standard, very flimsy, very tiny, thin optical cable if you want to use that. They also include a couple things here. We've got an aux cable, 3.5 millimeter, right angle to straight. And then we also have a converter from the headphone cable or the 1/8-inch aux cable to the RCA red and white channels, right and left. The remote is in here as well. Very standard remote. This kind of looks like every other soundbar remote that you get. But it's worth showing here, and I can kind of highlight some of the features for you real quick. You're gonna get power and mute up at the top. You've got a D-pad to control back and forward with your tracks, play, pause, volume up and volume down, a single input selector button, and then below that you actually can adjust treble and bass with their own dedicated buttons. Pair for the Bluetooth, 3D, which maybe, I don't think this is Atmos. It doesn't have outfiring speakers, so I don't know what that button does. We'll find out. Music, TV, and movie, 3 equalization modes, pretty standard there as well. It's lightweight, it's nothing to write home about. It's got their logo right there at the bottom. And then the last thing in this bag is mounting hardware if you do want to put this on the wall, okay? So those are accessories that come with it. Now, one of the things, I mentioned the optical cable, but the great thing about this soundbar that I like to see, and what I think elevates this above other cheap offerings, is that it has HDMI-ARC connectivity. So HDMI-ARC means you can pass audio through the soundbar to the TV, or you can return audio from all of your TV inputs to the soundbar over a single HDMI cable. You don't have to run multiple cables. You can also use the CEC codec to control the soundbar with your TV remote. So you don't have to use the separate remote if you don't want to and juggle all those while you're watching. So that's nice. The last thing in the box that's not the soundbar is this little guy right here, and this is gonna be our power supply, and nothing special here. AC to DC power block converter, maybe 6 feet in length. So that is all of the non-soundbar items in here, and we can pull this out, and like I said, it is heavy, it is big, and it is long, and those are all good qualities in a soundbar. The heaviness makes me think this has decent sized magnets in it, which means we're gonna get a good sound output. The length is gonna give you a wider stereo separation, so your right and left channels are farther apart. And it's not too big that it's gonna be intrusive, okay? So there's the whole thing right there, a touch over 3 feet long. One of the things when you take this out of the box to keep in mind is on the back, these are the mounting brackets. They come already attached and they're like a sharp, hard metal. I almost cut myself when I pulled this out of the box originally. So bear in mind that the mounting hardware is attached by 4 little screws. You can actually probably remove that if you don't want to mount it on the wall, but just don't cut yourself on that because they're pretty sharp. The finish on this guy, a nice piano black gloss finish all around the back and the bottom. And then the front has fabric over the grill, and you've got silver end caps. This looks similar to a Vizio soundbar that I owned a couple of years ago, and it's a pretty timeless design. While it is big, it's not too wide that it'll block the TV. In front of it, this is probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches, so nothing too tall there. Now, let's go over on this end cap, there's nothing. On this side, we have a couple of buttons, and those are just gonna be your standard power, input select, and then volume up and volume down. So if you lose your remote or you want to just change it in a pinch, you can just reach over and adjust it there. Now around the back we have our ins and our outs, and I've mentioned them before, but I just want to point them out here. This is the HDMI-ARC. You've also got your, sorry I have to tip it up here, the glare on this is bad. The line input for the aux, the optical right next to it, the power in, DC 20 volt, and then above that you have a USB if you want to play off a USB stick, and then your RCA inputs. This also has Bluetooth, which is how I'm going to demonstrate the sound to you in this review. And then I'll obviously include some B-roll shots of this in front of the TV so you can see how it looks in front of my TV in the bedroom, which is a 65-inch as well. Now, I've already tested this, of course. I want to make sure that I give each product a good demo period, and I have a few thoughts on the sound. So while I'm powering this up, I will tell you about that. Now, a couple of specs here. I did want to point out, where did I stick my, I had a sticky note with a couple specs here. So power-wise, this is 120 watts. Watts don't really matter. dB is more important, and surprisingly, for a cheap soundbar, they do actually say that this has 110 dB max. Nothing crazy, nothing for a home theater, but for the average listener, that's going to be more than enough output. It has 6 drivers inside. 4 of those are full range, 2 of those are subwoofers, and then there's also a bass reflex tube to just kind of amplify the low end. And yeah, those are kind of the important things. I did want to talk about the low end, because when it comes to sound quality, this far and away has the best bass of any standalone soundbar I've reviewed on this channel. Can very confidently say that, and that's a good thing. If you don't want to spring for a wireless subwoofer, being able to have a good low end is great. It's not going to replace a subwoofer. It definitely doesn't dig down to the sub bass. You're not going to go below like maybe 40, 50 hertz, so you're not getting like tons and tons of low bass. But if in a standalone subwoofer, this is the best low frequency response that I've had. So let me power this up here. And I believe it does talk to you when you go through the inputs. I'm gonna flip this around. Oh, we got a nice little chime there. I'm gonna face it towards my microphone so that you can hear the sound quality. Oh, and one last thing to note is that on the front here, there is a display hidden under the grill. Right now it says pause, but it does tell you what input you're on, volume level, all that stuff. So if I cycle through this, where's my input select? Sorry, here. There we go. You can see the different inputs as we go through it. Okay, so this says ARC, now it says line, you get the picture aux, and then USB, and then BT, Bluetooth, and it starts flashing. It should connect to my phone because I've connected to it before, and if not, I'll just go to my settings on my phone and find it. Still flashing, so maybe not. Oh, there it is. It's trying. WO is what it says in the Bluetooth. All right, I'm gonna pull that up. And then I'm just gonna play some clips from the YouTube audio library. They're not my favorite, but they will do, okay? All right, so we got a little bit of a ding there when it connected. So let me pull up YouTube audio library. I've been getting copyright notices on my channel, which is kind of a bummer. All you guys want these dang sound tests. And I'm gonna preface the sound test, I hate these, but I'm gonna preface it with, by the time it goes through this little crappy mic, into my camera, uploaded to the computer, edited, compressed, exported, uploaded again, you know, all that. This is not going to be how this actually sounds, but people ask for this constantly. So here we go. We're gonna do it anyway. So we'll start with an acoustic track, royalty-free music. I'm just gonna pick the first one I see here. Okay. It's just like an acoustic guitar. I'll kind of scoot back a little bit and give this some space to play. And the sound quality is good, and it's full. You know, even if you're not getting a ton of sub bass, you're getting some more of the low tones. Oh yeah, so let's play maybe some rock. Okay, I'm just picking random tracks here. So I'm just gonna fast forward a bit. I do think the mids are a little bit muted. That snare kind of feels recessed. And you can't really find a separate control for the mids, so you're kind of out of luck there. I don't think the average person's going to notice it, but the mids maybe are a little recessed compared to other music. I'm going to do, let's see, we'll get like an EDM track here. I'm going to try and not get flagged here. I'm going to skip ahead. Let me skip ahead even a little bit farther. It's like a drop or something. Maybe a little too far. And the bass is actually like, it's sitting on this table and like I can feel it vibrating my feet. I think this has got good size magnets in it, and the bass response is respectable. So within expectations. For a soundbar around the $100 mark or $150, I can't remember what this one comes in at. It's great. So let me give you some final thoughts. I mean, that's all it is to operating this guy. This is the Wohome S9930, 3390. Let me make sure I got it right. S9930, 38-inch soundbar, Bluetooth connectivity, HDMI-ARC. It's got all the features that I want to see. It's hefty, good quality, nice design. I think it's a winner. So if you're someone that wants to buy a soundbar, not deal with a wireless sub, and you want good stereo separation, this is a winner. If you want to grab one of these, I'll include a link down in the description. You can buy through there, support the channel. I would, of course, love you for it. And if you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button and let me know what soundbars you want me to review in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.